Hi guys, welcome to my new video. Joe here. We're going to do my top 10 sort of Mckenna's games that I've sort of watched on either TV or if I go mostly to the games. Just a disclaimer, I'm not like a glory hunter that I've only supported Ipswich because Mckenna. I've supported Mckenna, Ipswich all my life. I've supported Ipswich all my life from the Jim Magilton days, Paul Lambert, Mick McCarthy, all those. I've been to many games, and yeah, obviously doing it now makes people think I've not, but I've been to plenty of these games. So yeah, going on to my top 10. In number 10 is Watford away 2-1. You're probably thinking, Joe, we beat them this year 2-0. No, this was the first season with Mckenna in the Championship. It was on my birthday. We won 2-1. And I remember Sam Morsey scored a little late winner. So that is my number 10. So in my number 9 is, I'm going to tell you in a second. I've put as 9 as the last game of this season, 3-0 against QPR. It was a good game, don't get me wrong. The first 10 minutes we were 2-0 up. It was amazing. So much attacking flares and things like that. But I just thought maybe in the second half I felt like we sort of laid back a bit. And QPR did try and go at us, but I think, to be honest, they just didn't really want to care because I didn't really want Mill to go up. So yeah, that's gone as my number 9. So coming in at my number 8. Next number, my 8, I was obviously watching this on the TV with my dad, is the 2-0 away against Coventry. I could have gone 3-0, which probably you think was probably more better, and I was there at the game on that one. But the 2-0 was good because Coventry were really good at home, and to come there and basically won 2-0, and obviously Jack Clark scored. And Nunes got a double assist. The second one was Wes Burns when he came back from injury. You can show how much it meant to him with the passion, and he was back on that pitch. So I was debating which Coventry game I could have gone for, the 2-1, but I just felt, I can't remember what it was, but it was the second to last game of Mckenna's first season in the Championship. But Coventry had a really good FA Cup run, and you can tell they looked tired. So I didn't really want to put them in it because Coventry did well in that season, don't get me wrong, again, FA Cup semi-final, but I wouldn't count that as, that was my 8th best game. So, coming in at number 7, my number 7 is Fulham away 2-2. See, sometimes you think, we'll get wins and things like that, which sometimes people do, but I just thought the Fulham-Ipswich game was a great game, like back and forth sort of thing. Yes, there was 3 pens, and Lee Davis maybe could have got sent off. Who knows at that point? But in that game, I just felt like we actually gave it to Fulham in both games in that season, for a home and away, which I was both at. But yeah, Dalap, both penalties, can't fault him, cold as anything. Just seeing the away atmosphere in that was just top. But that wasn't the best one in terms of atmospheres, seeing the Ipswich limbs. But yeah, we'll go on to my number 6. My number 6 is very fitting. It was the very first full season with Mckenna, and the last game of that season was 6-0 against Exeter. 5-0 at half-time, all absolute rampant over him. Hurst, Chaplin's wonder strike, in fact. It was really good. I even said to Dad, this is going to go in here, and I called it there. I wish I'd recorded it to prove it to you guys, but I did say to Dad it's going to be like that. But overall, in that game, it was such a memorable one because seeing Ipswich promoted after having new ownership, and I thought we're back where we belong, and that was the Championship. So going on to my number 5. Number 5 was Chelsea win at Ipswich 2-0. I mean, you could say the 2-1, but I wasn't there, and it wasn't on Sky. I don't know why I wasn't, but I was there at the Ipswich-Chelsea game, midweek, 2-0. Delap and Amari Hutchinson, which was quite funny. Amari used to play for Chelsea, and Delap is now at Chelsea, so it was very fitting to put them in. Honestly, one of the games that Mckenna outsmarted Enzo Maresca. I mean, Chelsea fans could say, Yeah, but we had some like Disassi at right back, but then we've got Reece James, Gusto, Achapong all on the bench. It was a very rotated team, and it just shows like you just don't underestimate teams like the Ipswiches and things like that, especially at Portman Road. So yeah, Ipswich v Chelsea 2-0 win to Town. That was my number 5. So going on to my number 4. My fourth one is Ipswich won 2-1 against Spurs at the Spurs Stadium. I wasn't at the Ipswich's limbs. I wish I was a part of it, but I was in the, dare I say it, at the Spurs end. So hopefully he doesn't bite me on the arse in future games and things like that. But I was reasonable. I was behaved. I didn't celebrate when Ipswich scored. I was respectful to and thankful that I got tickets for that game. But yeah, like when Delap scored the first goal, I believe, it was just... Oh, no, sorry. It was the second goal. It was Schmodix with the first one. Schmodix got the first one, I think. And it was just limbs. It was really good. Just seeing it. It's on my shorts if you want to watch it. Same as the lap one, actually, the penalty against, like, say, Fulham and Chelsea and things like that. It was really good. To win a first actual away game, first Premier League game for so many years at the Spurs Stadium as well. It just ticked all the boxes for me, and I couldn't be any happier. So, going on to my number 3. My number 3 is the last game of the season. Not the Exeter, we've already established that. But it's the last game, or not the QPR one this season. But it's just the very first last game of the season in the Championship was the 2-0 against Huddersfield. Lots of writing on the wall. We just needed a point. Obviously, beating Coventry in that week. I wasn't really nervous. I felt I was all done. Huddersfield knew they were already going down. And plus, they probably don't want Leeds to go up. Sorry if I've been tired. But yeah, they probably didn't want Leeds to go up. But I wasn't any nervous. But as soon as West Burns capitalised on Jack Rodoni's mistake, I instantly knew we were going up. And there was no doubt in my mind. And then when Amari scored quite early on in the second half, it was just party time at Portman Road. And it was a really glorious day. Lovely weather. And I can't thank them enough for that. For obviously being largely my first ever seen Ipswich in the Premier League. And I know you're probably thinking, Joe, you're like 29 and Ipswich were in there like 25, 26 years ago. Hardly don't remember it. My dad does, but I don't. But yeah, now I'm around my age now. I've seen them twice in the Prem. So yeah, going on to my number 2. My number 2 is going to be Norwich at home. To break the curse and to win like that 3-1, it was always going to be one of the great games. And for me, it's my number 2. It was getting to sit next to near the Norwich fans. We were close to them, but we wasn't next door to them. But seeing Kipri score that goal, limbs, everything else, and then obviously Norwich scored, and then the Norwich fans were giving it to us. But oh my God, watching Philigine's goal, I could do a top 10 Ipswich goals under Mckenna, but I'm just going to stick with these 3, what I've got currently installed, with the thank you to Mckenna, my Marvellous Mckenna's 11, and I'm going to do, like I said, I'm doing the best games under Mckenna. So I'm going to stick with them. But yeah, I couldn't thank them enough. But on to, like I say, Norwich. Jack Clark wrapping up 3-1. I thought Azon was going to score, hit the post. Jack Clark was there on a rebound. Just, for me, had that weighted lift off everything, that we beat our rivals, and it just made me like feel happy about it. And from there on, we beat obviously Norwich to the double over them. We won 2-0. Pelly was a bit here and there. Like Taylor did sort of milk it, but at the same time, he sort of won over the linesman. He won over the ref, and that's how you do in football nowadays. If anyone else supports a different team and their player did that, you praise them. But because it's Ipswich, we obviously known was Pelly's FC in the Championship. So, but that's the way it is. And obviously, the referee is always going to have a split between the two. It's never going to be biased to one team. It's always going to be here and there. Unless you're John Busby, then you really hate Ipswich. So, going on to my number 1 is the one and only Ipswich 3, Southampton 2. It had to be that one for me. I could have... Honourable mentions was 3-2 against Bristol City. That was another one that came to my mind. The 3-all against Hull, that was in there. But the Ipswich-Southampton game, I believe it was around April time. I think it was April 1st or something like that. It was early April. And I remember that game very well. And it was the game that we were still competing. And we knew that Leeds were playing later against Hull. And I believe Leicester played Norwich and Leicester won that game. So it was all writings on the wall for even both teams. Like, if Southampton won that, they're in the push. If Ipswich won, Southampton would have been out of it. But obviously later on they were back in it. But yeah, it was 3-2. First goal, Leif Davis caught Bazunu out. Absolute wonderful strike. Good pass as well from Morsey, by the way. No one really hardly talks about it that much. But it was a great strike from Leif Davis. And then Southampton showed how the difference was between, obviously, Arsenal, who got promoted from League One, to Southampton, obviously getting relegated from the Prem. Just sublime goals from Che Adams and Adam Armstrong. Both really worked well for both goals, and it was nicely well played. And obviously, one of them, you could say Leif Davis had sort of some part in both of them sort of goals. And then the best one, Broadhead. Brilliant squeezing the ball, find that sort of low corner from Jack Taylor, pass it on to him, tidy it, finish, and I can't think. And this is the moment that I will always cherish it, was when Sarmiento, well, at first I thought he scuffed it, it was on the floor, and then as soon as he got back up, slide it in, and I've never seen Portman Road erupt like that. And the best of all was seeing my dad, like, so passionate and so proud of that team, and you know how it meant to him, and it was so nice to be there with him on that day. And to be honest, I'm truly thankful for my dad to get the tickets. And don't get me wrong, I also buy tickets as well, or we do like versa. But anyway, that is going to be my top 10 games I've seen or watched on TV under Kieran Mckenna. But yeah, like I say, big thank you to everyone that subscribed, comment as well. Much appreciated always, and I can't thank you all enough. I will see you all later. Bye, guys.